Bloom's taxonomy. In the mid-1950s, Bloom worked in collaboration with Max Engelhardt, Edward First, Walter Heer, and David Cratworth to devise a system that classified levels of cognitive functioning and provided a sense of structure for the various mental processes we experience. This framework has been applied by a generation of K-12 teachers and colleagues instructors in their teaching. The original taxonomy, 1956. The taxonomy is a 6-level classification system that uses observed student behavior to infer the level of cognitive achievement. Bloom's taxonomy is a hierarchic model that categorizes learning objectives into varying levels of complexity, from basic knowledge and comprehension to advanced evaluation and creation. The framework elaborated by Bloom and his collaborators consisted of 6 major categories: knowledge, comprehension, application, analysis, synthesis, and evaluation. The categories after knowledge were presented as skills and abilities, with the understanding that knowledge was the necessary precondition for putting these skills and abilities into practice. While each category contained subcategories, all lying alone in continuum from simple to complex and concrete to abstract, the taxonomy is popularly remembered according to the 6 main categories. Here are the author's brief explanation of these main categories from the appendix of Taxonomy of Educational Objectives. Knowledge involves the recall of specifics and universals, and the recall of methods and processes, or the recall of pattern, structure, or setting. Comprehension refers to the type of understanding or apprehension such as individuals know that it is being communicated and can make use of the material of idea being communicated without necessarily relating to the other material or seeing its fullest implications. Application refers to the use of abstraction in particular and concrete situation. Analysis represents the breakdown of communication into the contingent elements or parts, such as the relative hierarchy of ideas is made clear, or the relations between ideas expressed are made explicit. Synthesis involves the putting together of elements and parts so as to form a whole. Evaluation engenders judgments about the value of material and methods for given purposes. The revised taxonomy. A group of cognitive psychologists, curriculum theologists, and instructional researchers and testing and assessment specialists published in 2001 a revision of Bloom's taxonomy with the title A Taxonomy for Teaching, Learning, and Assessment. This title draws attention away from the somewhat static notion or educational objectives in Bloom's original title and points to a more dynamic conception of classification. The authors of the revised taxonomy underscore this dynamism, using verbs and gerunds to label their categories and subcategories rather than the nouns of original taxonomy. These action words describe the cognitive process by which thinkers encounter and work with knowledge. Remember, recognizing, recalling, understand, interpreting, exemplifying, classifying, summarizing, inferring, comparing, explaining, apply, executing, implementing, analyze, differentiating, organizing, attributing, evaluate, checking, critiquing, create, generating, planning, producing. In the revised taxonomy, knowledge is at the basis of these 6 cognitive processes, but its author created a separate taxonomy of the types of knowledge used in cognition: factual knowledge, knowledge of terminology, knowledge of specific details and elements, conceptual knowledge, knowledge of classifications and categories, knowledge of principles and generalizations, knowledge of theories, models, and structures. Procedural knowledge, knowledge of subject-specific skills and algorithms, knowledge of subject-specific techniques and methods, knowledge of criteria for determining when to use appropriate procedures, and metacognitive knowledge. It's strategic knowledge, knowledge about cognitive tasks, including appropriate contextual and conditional knowledge, and self-knowledge. Why use Bloom's taxonomy? The authors of the revised taxonomy suggest a multi-layered answer to this question, to which the author of this teaching guide has added some clarifying points. Objectives. Learning goals are important to establish in a pedagogical interchange so that teachers and students alike understand the purpose of this interchange. Second, teachers can benefit from using frameworks to organize objectives because organizing objectives helps to clarifying objectives for themselves and for students. Having an organized set of objectives helps teachers to plan and deliver appropriate instruction, design valid assessment tasks and strategies, and ensure that instruction and assessment are aligned with the objectives. In conclusion, Bloom's taxonomy is met with several valid criticisms, but is still widely used in the educational setting today.